Hello, everyone. Um, my name is Nathalie Guimarães. I'm a researcher from Universidade de Trás-os-Montes e Alto Douro in Portugal. And I intend to present my work related to development of a web application to provide and analyze geographic information within the scope of Interact project. This research work are included in Interact project. That means integrative research in environment, agrochain, and technology. And we have the intention to develop a platform, a web spatial decision support system in GIS environment. This project and this web application aims the sharing, visualization, and the analysis of the data produced by researchers of our project. So the web applications simplify the access to geographic information, because actually the users don't need to be an expert in GIS to consult the information in our application. But we have some problems because the powerful display of geographic data, it doesn't mean that we can do some analysis and some relation with that data. So we want to create application to show the information and other tools to analyze that information. So this is important to create tools to develop a platform that allows the display and the analysis of data. Our platform development process is divided in three main stages. So the first stage is the backend, and it's related to store, organize, and manage the data and documents produced by our researchers. The second stage is the front end, and it's related to the development of the dynamic web application with query of information in a simple and intuitive way. And the third and last stage is the analytical processing of data. So we have an image that illustrates the differences between front end and back end. So the front end is what users can see. It represents 20% of total efforts. It has a high value and are low repetitive. The back end is what users don't see. It represents 80% of total effort. It has a low value and it's high repetitive. Regarding to the backend, firstly, we have started with processing of data in QGIS, and then we have defined the encoding of data in this software, and at the end, we reprojected all layers on the same coordinate system, WGS84. So then we put the data in GeoServer directly using the GeoServer Explorer, and the vector data and raster data, of course, was loaded in PostGIS database using the database manager tool in QGIS. So we have an illustration of GeoServer Explorer, the plugin in QGIS that we can use to share the information directly to GeoServer, and defining, it's important because we can define directly the style in SLD format, so it's very useful. Now we have chosen the GeoServer as our web map server. And it's important because we are using to share our information using some services, the web map server, service and the WF service. So we have an illustration of PHP PG admin. So it's the web administration panel that we use to organize our information, to do some queries and some analysis then. So the front end, we have used some languages, JavaScript to define the behavior of our web page, the CSS to defining our layouts and styles, and the HTML to define the content of our web application. So this is an example of our, thank you. Sorry. This is an example of our main page with a brief explanation of our project. Then we have our administration menu with some subjects or some layers regarding to some subjects. So we have physical parameters, socioeconomical indicators, natural and human pressures, quality parameters, ecological integrity, and agroforestry systems. So we can select our layers, and then we have this web mapping application where we can find at left the layers loaded, and in bottom we have our attribute table, and we can select item by item in attribute table, and then it will be projected, it will be shown in the application. So we can load every feature that we select in the table on map. Regarding to the analytical processing of data, so we are in development right now, and we are developing some tools with Python language. So we have the connection between our application and the Python scripts. So we are using some libraries, as Shapely, Jadal, Fiona, GeoPandas, and OGR. As you know, the Jadal is used for manipulating geospatial data, raster data, and OGR is used for manipulating geospatial vector data. So this is the model with the architecture that we are using. So we have the input of data, introduction of data, then our data will be processed in our Python scripts, and then we have the intention to present our information with graphs, tables, in geographical formats, in shapefile, GeoJSON, and with some reports. So this is an example of a tool that we want to do, because we want to create some tools in real time, so the user can input the data, and then the program will be processed, and then we can present the results at near real time. So this is based on a matrix of data with coordinates, and we have the intention to measure the distance between our unknown points to the known point. So we want to measure the distance to 3 nearest points, and then we can calculate the unknown points. Actually, it's a simple inverse distance weighted interpolation tool. So we are also using PostGIS as our spatial database, because it's very important to do spatial queries. So we can present the data of our queries in spatial format. We are using GeoJSON format to show our queries, our spatial queries. This is a simple example, but we can create other queries with related different kind of information, and we have the intention to do it with raster data using PostGIS. So we can integrate and query raster data with vector data. So in future works, we have the intention to create, to improve our design of application, developing new tools to change our design and design of layers. We have the intention to continue uploading information in our database and different kind of information. So, and we want to develop new tools in Python, of course, and using also the PostGIS potential tools. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Natalie. Any question? No? What version of QGIS are you using?
QGIS, actually the last one, yes.
Okay, okay. And the web page and this work are already available now?
Yes, yes. We have an internal URL at the moment. So, but we are doing the production, and we are creating a domain for the community, so everybody can consult
Access.
our website.
But it's available now?
No. At the
Not
moment,
yet.
now.
Okay.
We have just internal URL because we are testing, but
Okay.
in very soon we will have a public URL and a public web mapping page. Okay.
Okay. Any question? No? Okay, thank you, Natalie. Now we are going to the next speaker, Rita Anastácio, with the presentation implementing an open source spatial infrastructure data for the CLIM risk project.